Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. We also have Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at TPM Videos. Disney's Animal Kingdom opened on April 22, 1998, and right from the beginning, authenticity has played an important role to immerse us right into the stories of each land. Whether you're riding along the dirt roads of the African savanna, escaping the Yeti in the Himalayas, or flying on the back of a Banshee, we're brought into these places by travel and tour companies. Fake travel and tour companies, but the details make us believe they're real. We're all familiar with these Disney rides, but it's time to dive into the backstories and details that convincingly take us on these wild adventures. So today we're going to be counting down the top 5 fake Disney ride travel companies at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Number 5. When you step into Asia, you enter the township of Anandapur. Debuting in 1999, Asia was the first official expansion at Animal Kingdom, which brought us Cali River Rapids. Now, Anandapur is a fictional village that takes on traits from many different countries in Asia. It's known for its travel and tourism, but it's had problems with illegal slash-and-burn logging. It's been ruining the town and surrounding forests. A civilian by the name of Manisha Garung took it upon herself to set up Cali Rapids Expeditions, which operates Cali River Rapids. Its main purpose is to show visitors that there are other ways to bring revenue into the village. Now, the attraction's marquee is actually where the owner Manisha and her family live. This building is suspended by stilts to protect them from flash floods, but it also helps with cooling. It allows air to circulate around the building, and this ladder here is how they get in and out of their home. Now, it takes you a bit of time to actually get to the Cali Rapids Expedition office to begin your adventure. There is so much detail in this queue that it's like an attraction in itself. Imagineers actually visited Southeast Asia and purchased over 5,000 props to place right in the queue. So this is all the real deal. Everything is authentic. Once you make it into the Cali Rapids Expeditions booking office, you find that the clerk is temporarily away. The good thing is that you can see the expeditions that are currently taking place and a list of rafts available, a lot of which are actual rafts on the ride, like Below Me Away or Himalayan Hummer. Manisha and her team believe these river rides are more than just an exciting adventure down the Chakrandi River. You get to see the beauty of Anandapur and how the land can be preserved while witnessing the detriments of logging all at the same time. The more visitors that come into this village, the more Manisha and her family can spread their message. Number 4. Africa transports you into the fictional East African village of Harambee, which is based off numerous real places in Africa like Kenya and Tanzania. Harambee is a mercantile border port. It caters to the tourists who make their way through the village to get to the main attraction. There's a hotel, market, shops, everything you'd find in an actual African village. The attention to detail is what makes the story of this village feel real. There's even posters pasted onto the buildings like this one. It advertises a journey of a lifetime with Kilimanjaro safaris on the Harambee Wildlife Reserve. The tour company lets you enjoy one of their modern, comfortable vehicles for a day excursion. Now, as you make your way to the edge of town, there's a billboard advertising the Kilimanjaro Safaris tour. It's the main draw of the village, so it's a good thing it points you towards the booking office and departure area. Harambee, which is Swahili for come together, brings animals and humans together as one through the Harambee Wildlife Reserve. Even though the clerk is away, here you learn you'll be taking a ride on Simba 1. To make the experience even more convincing, the safari is set up with a video from Dr. Catherine Jobson, a wildlife researcher based in Africa who explains a little more about these African animal species you'll encounter.
For your embarkment on the tour, Kilimanjaro Safaris asked me to share with you the true stories of Harambee's wildlife.
At this point, Kilimanjaro Safaris really immerses you into believing this is a real-world situation, not a theme park attraction. Well, up until November of 2020, we used to see this video from Warden Wilson Mutua explaining how he started the reserve as a way to preserve the animals' natural habitats.
Even the borders of Harambee cannot protect our animals from the most dangerous threat of all, poaching.
Kilimanjaro Safaris covers 110 acres and features 34 species of wildlife. The attraction has been operating since April of 1998, but as the years have gone on, the poaching storyline has been watered down. Originally, Warden Wilson Mutua would occasionally check in with your vehicle to give the driver updates.
I see you down there. You are in bush country. Drive carefully. I don't want you bumping into my animals.
You'd hear traditional African folk music, and the attraction would end in a chase trying to escape poachers and save Little Red.
Oh, look at the back of that truck. That's Little Red.
All these story elements, in addition to seeing real live animals, were tools to immerse you into the fictional village of Harambe on this amazing wildlife adventure. Well, in 2012, Disney fully removed the poaching storyline, including the camp scene and Little Red, with the main focus solely on seeing animals. Now it felt more like a theme park ride. In late 2020, Disney did introduce a new scene of the Warden's Post, which can be found near the end of the safari. Although we aren't formally introduced to the Warden in the pre-show anymore, this lived-in Warden's Post immerses you back into the notion that the Kilimanjaro Safari Tour takes you through a real African reserve in Harambe. Actually, if you look closely, the yellow tag on the truck says Lil Red, which is a little hidden nod to the old Little Red storyline.
There's an old Swahili phrase known as kwaherini, what does it mean to go well?
Kwaherini, everyone. Number 3. When you step into Dinoland USA, you're taken into Diggs County, which is somewhere between Texas and Florida along Highway 498. In 1947, some dinosaur bones were discovered on the site that's now the Boneyard. When the news broke, grad students from all across the country flocked to Diggs County to dig up and study these fossils. The grad students then formed the Dino Institute, and their original base was what's now Restaurantosaurus. It was originally an old fishing lodge. Actually, the Restaurantosaurus name came as sort of a practical joke by the students. One night, they went around the area and added Osaurus and other gags to any sign they could find. Now, in terms of the Dino Institute, things started off okay, but as the years went on, the Institute struggled and needed some help. It wasn't until 1973 when paleontologist Dr. Marsh was hired to rescue the Institute to try to make it profitable again. During her first few months at the Institute, she announced her new development of the Time Rover machine.
An amazing vehicle that will literally transport you to the age of the dinosaurs. How? That's proprietary.
It was groundbreaking, as it would allow scientists and students to travel back in time to the Cretaceous period to study these dinosaurs. Things were going so well that a brand new building was constructed for the Dino Institute, and it was dedicated on April 22, 1978. This just happens to be 20 years to the date before Animal Kingdom opened. Now, inside the Dino Institute, it's set up as a traditional museum. Dinosaur fossils are on display as we've been used to seeing them for the past 150 years. Dr. March is hoping to change this since the new facility has allowed for the production of more Time Rover machines. Why look at fossils when you can look at real live dinosaurs? So she's decided to open these time travel tours to the general public.
It's on to the tour that will convince you forever that the future is truly in the past.
It's been proven to be a great way to bring in some extra revenue for the Institute, since it's a very popular experience with guests. What should be a tour of the beginning of the Cretaceous period turns into a tour of the end of the Cretaceous period, where we find ourselves being chased by the Carnotaurus. Thankfully, we make a safe escape and return back to Diggs County. Number 2. In April of 2006, Disney opened Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. With this new expansion in Asia, Imagineers created a brand new mythical Tibetan village at the base of the Forbidden Mountains called Sirkazong. The village offers architectural authenticity from Tibet and Nepal, and no detail was spared. In the town's early years, it was a hub for shipping tea by train through the Forbidden Mountain Pass. After a series of accidents said to have been caused by the Yeti, the railroad was quickly closed. Thankfully, the village recovered from the travesties and began to boom. This is all thanks to the local entrepreneurs, but the village has never forgotten the legend of the Yeti. They still warn the visitors of this danger, but that didn't stop two entrepreneurs, a local named Norbu and an Australian named Bob, from refurbishing part of the railroad in the 1920s. They formed Himalayan Escapes Tours and Expeditions, where they bring visitors to the base of Mount Everest. As soon as you enter the queue, you're taken into Bob's office, where he runs marketing for the company. Bob is temporarily away, but when we examine the details, there's no way this isn't a real lived-in place. It has everything you'd expect to find, including the tour company's business license, a list of current expeditions, and even an envelope left for Bob. The right side, which in this case is the FastPass line, is Norbu's office, and he's the one responsible for running the actual expeditions. As we get further into the queue, we see shrines have been set up by the residents of the village to honor the Yeti, who is the protector of Zong. They don't want to anger it again. Now, Norbu and Bob want to make sure their customers are prepared for the trek to Mount Everest. So before your trip, you have the opportunity to purchase some last-minute equipment and resources. Right here on the FastPass side, Imagineers hit a little Imagineering book alongside books about Mount Everest. Now, a local scientist actually set up a Yeti museum. This displays artifacts dedicated to the study of the scientific and cultural aspects of the mysterious Yeti. There's some really interesting pieces to see, and this is another queue that is practically an attraction in itself. Imagineers actually purchased over 8,000 authentic props from Nepal during their research trips, so this makes the story as authentic and immersive as possible. Now, getting back into the story, this scientist actually believes the Yeti is real. Just as you're about to load onto the train, there's a final reminder from Norbu and Bob that assure their visitors the opinions of the museum do not reflect the opinions of Himalayan Escapes, Tours, and Expeditions. They need to run a profitable tour and want us to ride the train to the base of Mount Everest. Well, it doesn't take us long to realize that the owners of this tour company know more than they're letting on to. We're faced with some broken rail tracks, then find ourselves coming face to face with the Yeti. So it turns out the legend is real. Number 1. Pandora, the World of Avatar brings the 2009 film Avatar right to life in one of the most breathtaking and beautiful lands at Animal Kingdom. Now, Pandora takes place 100 years after the events of the original film, and this acts as a brand new story unique to Animal Kingdom. An eco-tour company by the name of Alpha Centauri Expeditions, or ACE for short, is responsible for bringing tourists to Pandora to explore the Valley of Moara. They're the adventure facilitators as well as the caretakers of the land. ACE focuses on studying Pandora's ecosystem in an effort to repair the damage done to the environment while sharing their message with visitors. Seeing the floating mountains up close is just one of the jaw-dropping experiences of your tour that lets you explore the beauty and culture of this exotic place. Getting the opportunity to experience a Na'vi rite of passage and fly on the back of a Banshee is a highlight of your tour in Pandora.
With permission from the Na'vi and in partnership with Alpha Centauri Expeditions, we can now bring this amazing experience to you.
Avatar Flight of Passage is a one-of-a-kind experience that gives you a bird's-eye view of what Pandora has to offer. Another experience set up by ACE takes you onto a hand-woven reed boat for a journey down the sacred Caspavan River into the bioluminescent rainforest. Na'vi River Journey showcases the beauty of the glowing plants and exotic creatures. You're then taken to the Na'vi Shaman of Songs, who shares her spiritual celebration with visitors to the planet. To make these tours possible, Alpha Centauri Expeditions has set up a lot of infrastructure in Pandora. They also operate the restaurant Satuli Canteen, where you can indulge in the local cuisine while admiring the art of the Na'vi. All across your tour, you can find examples of the Na'vi sharing their art, which connects visitors even more to the culture and traditions of Pandora. When you think of the entire land as a singular expedition or attraction, each of the rides help drive the plot for the land as a whole, as they are all experiences that make up your tour itinerary on Pandora. So what's your favorite ride at Animal Kingdom? Did any of these backstories surprise you? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.